This is Orlando, Florida, the Errol Country Club. And we're in March of '89. We're staying in an area called the Villas. We're about an hour from the airport. This is the inside of the space.
Quality you can depend on. Attaboy, Dave. Lennox Heating and Air Conditioning. Quality proven over time. Tonight, some business owners will rest a little easier. Because helping protect their business is an independent insurance agent who recommended Kemper. Kemper Insurance. Coming through for more than 75 years.
It's a 2-bedroom condo, similar in size to the Holmeses. 2 beds. Patio, covered, screened-in porch. We're on the first fairway of one of 3 9-hole courses. This is the side facing the golf course. Screened-in porch. Villas down toward the lake. First hole, par 5. Looking up toward the tee and the clubhouse. Number 2 in the Highlands course, March '89. is number 3 on the Highlands course.
People are paying for anything. We're gonna go camping and hiking with them.
Terrific.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
They have all the gear and stuff. We're gonna go out and buy some shoes, and I'm gonna have my dad send down my pack, and they're gonna get us sleeping bags and tents, and we're gonna go up to Georgia or North Carolina or.
This is number 2 on the Grove course. Almost Sunday afternoon, Orlando, Florida. Popping gun.
Nice shot, Barbara. Nice hit.
Nice shot, Lorraine.
Nice shot, Lorraine.
Pretty shot.
Beautiful.
That's something. Woo!
Right. Playing it safe again, huh?
Nice hit, Lorraine.
Now Don is going to try Barbara's driver.
Oh, well, see if he hits it like a girl.
Holy smokes.
How do you hit a driver that far in the air, Dad?
I don't know.
Okay. How'd you like that one?
A little too,
Too light.
That'll play. Good hit, Lorraine. Almost got all of it. This is the 13th of March. Number 1 lake. This is number 2 on the lake course. March 13, 1989. Earl Country Club Estate. And back over the tee box in the lake. Mom's warming up. Back toward our complex. First hole. This is the 4th tee. Lake. I'm looking across the lake at our complex. Coming around the other part of the lake, I'm up on the 5th tee. Sounded good. How are you? Number 6, lake course, Errol. This is number 7, dogleg left. Nice golf hole. Well done. Well done, Lorraine.
I didn't get all of it.
This is number 9 on the lake course. This is the par 5. Second hole. Highlands. Third hole. Yep, much better. Looking back up the fairway. Number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Well, Lorraine, you get a lot of practice with the sand. Number 4, Highlands Course, Earl Country Club.
Automatic focus.
But what we have done is, as I said, made the studio compatible for film and tape. Film guys like to nail into the floor, they can do that. When we do tape, we usually put linoleum over it in panels. Although it's excluding this kind of painting, it's fairly smooth and we're getting good dolly shots on it. Sure.
It should be. Producers in the back, directors in the back. Special effects, character generator in there.
Some people do. I can use the same monitor that everybody else is using. The time it gets into a problem is when you work with a large group of people, you've got small monitors and your camera's out on a real wide shot. It starts to get...
75,000 for the computer. All right. 6,000 or 4.
Okay.
This is a 6.
Is this room isolated, soundproof?
Yep. Panels.
Yeah? I don't think I need to board that.
Where's the detail?
Oh.
Unless they change lockdown, which has been known to happen.
Yeah, right.
Ted tells us that this is his favorite room in the whole studio complex.
That's right, all of those same names, of course, absolutely. I know that specifically because our original conception was doing more film or what I want to show you in this case before we go next door, this is the so-called swing stage where we do commercial work. We do a series for MTV called Remote Control, where we draw film shoots, we do part of that middle shooting. And it never ceases to amaze me how nice and large it looks until you get a set in it, and then it looks very small. This wall is actually 2 walls that can be removed, which gives us the flexibility of turning these 7,100 square foot stages into one 15,000 square foot stage. We have not done that so far, but in terms of the construction process, we've timed the removal of that wall, and it essentially takes designed to look kind of like a beach or something of that nature, so that the kids are part of it.
Okay, go back to this please.
Someone was asking about sight. We have a site all the way around. Again, illustrative in terms of some questions that clients have.
Carry on, plug.
How intrusive is the tool? Again, you're not at all aware of the glass.
I hit the button. What's 1 and 2 at? Okay, that's good.
Any specific questions on?
No, I don't want to live here, man.
No. If you have a chance to live in California, you come back here. Where have you...
Post facility. This is a tape library. Okay, Don, here it is.
Yes, definitely.
This could be a similar crew room. Offline room, I guess it's 2 offlines. Overhead lights, scope, whole works.
Something known as the DFX 200.
This is a studio, man.
This is
the side of the studio.
older machines here.
This is a 2000s?
2000s, 2500s.
Oh, 2500s. 2000s, best machine ever made.
So we're going to take switches to the bay. Let's go through an actual online broadcast session. Wherever you see a hole in the racks, that just means we're still waiting for more Sonys. They're coming. And beyond the flexibility, what you're about to see is the router.
Oh, now we're talking about
Maybe we should talk to Kathy while
I
Thank you, sir. I need it.
Here and on the West Coast.
The router that we discussed has been reworked and redesigned into now being a digital touch screen router. This is Andy Deli's. wearing. He was custom made by him. Works for the posters.
Do you have
He's supposed to be
exclusively freelance staff?
No, in terms of our editing staff, no,
in
absolutely.
terms of
It's
setting levels,
staff.
you just do it
One of
right.
the terrific opportunities.
Room, and that's the console. And it's a digital line, and these two are on.
Film to tape.
So you can tell. I mean, it's,
This is the new SSL.
this is the newest and largest SSL ever built.
But this is for film, right?
This is for film or tape. We can lock up the film and tape.
But you'll show it all here?
Right now, most of the work we're doing is off of tape because it's all tape finished.
But
It's
well, you wouldn't
electronic.
show it on that big screen, would you?
The big screen, we've got the projection room above for both audio rooms. You'll see the other one on the other side.
A video projection?
Video projection
And film? Oh, nice.
So, this is complete. This is Dolby surround sound. And there's 5 speakers behind the screen.
Client area.
This is a fully automated, fully digital SSL. It's the largest one built to date. Adam Smith. The brand new Adam Smith. It's just very friendly and it's hands down. It's built quality. It's built to CMS. It works and it's great, but it's not this. This is a more extreme sense of what goes on. Usually there's an actor there. Yeah, they're dancing.
To purchase more than one item on an order. This strategy increases productivity, and we pass the savings resulting from this productivity on to our customers. We follow the same strategy in children's, in home furnishings, and in our hard lines, which, by the way, are very profitable in our catalog. On virtually every page, we had the styles our customers were looking for, the colors they wanted, very competitive prices, and traditional penny quality. That's a hard combination to beat. And it all added up to the most successful merchandise mix we've ever offered in catalog. Turning to presentation, our books achieved new levels of excitement in '86. The focus was on value, and we told the story with photography and design that were right out of fashion magazines. We know the way we present merchandise is critical. Outstanding presentation can enhance an item's sales significantly. In 1986, our focus throughout the year was on the customer. We asked ourselves, how do our customers live? What are their interests, their careers, their leisure activities? What are their families like? In short, we zeroed in on their lifestyles. Then we asked ourselves, how can we make our merchandise a part of the way they live, depicting it in a bold, dramatic way? The result was catalog presentation based on people as much as merchandise. We followed our customers throughout their daily activities, showing how our merchandise fits into their lives. We also made it easier for them to find things in our catalog. We took a lesson from our stores and organized our books into shop-like departments: active wear, career wear, weekend wear, and so on. The models we used and the settings we created underscored these different areas. We used more space to highlight JCPenney quality. The Stafford suit construction story is a good example. In the past, we talked about the
Nice golf shot, Lorraine. Nice shot, hon. Well, it sure sounded good. A little bit I could see it looked good. No? How is it? You're in good shape, Ryan. It's a good shot. Yep. Right club.
Know when we expect new shipments. In 1986, these occurrences were kept to a minimum. And this combination of an in-stock situation and good communication with our customers was another strong reason for our banner year. Let me elaborate on that customer communication theme and customer service in general. It's another of the keys to our success. Catalog is usually thought of as a mail order business, but that's really not the case. 96% of our orders arrive by telephone either directly from customers or referrals from stores. In 1986, we answered 72 million incoming calls and made 8 million outgoing calls, an average of over 200,000 a day. To handle this volume, we have one of the largest and most advanced telemarketing capabilities in the world. Most of it developed over the past 5 years. Our 14 telemarketing centers provide 3,900 workstations and employ about 7,000 sales associates. And when people call, they answer the phone. During the week of December the 8th, our busiest week last year, we took 2.5 million calls with an average answering speed of 12 seconds. That's just 2.5 rings. And we usually do much better than that. We have excellent training programs, but they can only go so far. Every day we get thousands of exceptions, things you just can't plan for. At that point, it all comes down to motivation and a sincere desire on the part of our associates to help. In this respect, we're second to none. Our phone center managers have built a tremendous sense of customer service, a feeling of let's do the job better than anyone else. And we do. The proof is in the letters we receive from customers. They come in on a daily basis, not to complain, but to compliment. Let me read you a few quotes. Your young lady was so polite, so courteous, so patient, and so helpful. I wish more people in business were like her. And here's another. This is the first time I've shopped catalogs, and you are great people to do business with. And one more. I can't imagine how you select your operators. I've never had one that was not super courteous, friendly, efficient, and helpful. Sounds like a Boy Scout. It's a sincere pleasure to transact business with them. And finally, you have the greatest people working for you. Besides being pleasant, they're also very helpful. Without question, that's the best performance evaluation we can get. And it underscores why customer service was so important to our success last year. The combination of our phone centers and the distribution centers is our 1-2 punch in providing superior customer service. Almost without exception, an order placed today at any of our 14 catalog telephone centers will be shipped out of the distribution center tomorrow. 82% of our customers receive their merchandise within 48 hours, and 98.5% within 72 hours. No other catalog operation in America provides that kind of service. The 6 distribution centers are truly state-of-the-art. They are highly efficient and leveraged very quickly with increasing sales. Last year, they processed almost 8 million more customer orders at a very small increase in distribution center costs. Now finally, let me touch on the roles of the stores in boosting catalog sales. They've been instrumental in 3 areas. First, although the majority of our catalogs go out by mail directly to the customer, the stores are also a highly important channel of distribution, either through store pickup or purchase. Obviously, this is a perfect matchup. Millions of shopping trips are made annually to penny stores. These customers who buy from us, and of course who know our merchandise, getting a catalog into their hands is a natural extension of our sales effort, and the stores have done it. Second, catalog generates a tremendous amount of business through store referrals, $300 million last year. Even our largest stores can't stock every item in every size and in every color. If a customer can't find exactly what she wants, we have a saying, never say no, say catalog. This not only helps keep her happy, but helps her from preventing her from going next door. Finally, the stores have done an excellent job of increasing catalogs' visibility. These days, it's very common to see a store fixture with a sign that says, additional sizes and colors available through catalog. This kind of visibility helps tie our stores and catalog together. And that's important to our customers because of increased service, and to us because of increased sales. So those are the key reasons for our catalog success last year, and our excellent results so far in 1987. Our big books will continue to be our strength. However, an important element in our growth strategy will be the specialty catalog business. Everything has come together to make JCPenney Catalog the best of the best in the industry. And we're confident we'll continue our momentum in the years ahead. Thank you. And now I would be pleased to try to answer your questions, along with the able assistance of Rod Perkins. Now let me return the meeting to your chairman, Bill Howell. Bill?
Thank you, Dave, for that great presentation. We shall now proceed to consider the items of business as set forth in the notice of the meeting. As you will note from the agenda, there will be a general discussion period after the announcement of the results of the voting. I would ask that you hold your general questions until that period. As chairman of your meeting, I have appointed Messrs. John Malloy, a vice president of Morgan Shareholder Services, and Robert A. Hicks as inspectors to conduct the voting at the meeting. Will both of you please stand? As indicated in the proxy materials distributed for this meeting, your board of directors has submitted 4 proposals to you, our stockholders. First, the election of a class of 5 directors of the company for a 3-year term expiring at the 1990 annual meeting of stockholders. Second, approval of the appointment by your board of directors of Peat, Marwick, Bain & Company as auditors to audit the company's accounts for the fiscal year ending January 30, 1988. Third, approval of an amendment to the company's charter regarding elimination of certain liabilities of company directors. And last, ratification, approval, and authorization of indemnification agreements and a related trust agreement. Now, the 5 nominees have been introduced to you, and their backgrounds and qualifications. The other 3 proposals and reasons for adoption of such proposals are set forth in a great deal in detail in the proxy statement. Therefore, I do not believe it necessary or prudent to repeat that information. For the record, it is proposed that the 5 nominees whose names are set forth in the proxy statement be elected directors, and that the Board of Directors' proposals be approved as set forth in the proxy. If there is discussion by any stockholder, I would ask that you confine such discussion to the election of directors or to the other 3 Board of Directors proposals. Also, if your question or comment is of a personal nature rather than of general interest to everyone, I would ask that you please hold it until after the meeting and visit with one of our officers who are in attendance this morning. Also, we would appreciate it if you would be good enough when you rise to identify yourself by giving your name and identifying yourself as a stockholder. We shall now proceed to take the vote on these proposals. If you have sent in your proxy, your shares, of course, will be voted accordingly. Therefore, please do not request a ballot at the meeting unless you want to change the way you previously voted on the proxy. If you have not signed a proxy, or if you are acting as proxy for a stockholder and wish to vote by ballot, please raise your hand so that you may receive a ballot. To expedite the meeting, all ballots cast on these and the other items of business will be collected later. After you've marked your ballot, please do 3 things for us. First, sign your name in the way that your shares are registered. Secondly, please print your name and address. And finally, please fill in the number of shares you own. If you can't remember exactly the number, particularly after the recent split, put down an approximate number. Every ballot will be checked later against our stockholder records so that we will, in fact, have exact figures for the official record of the meeting. The next item of business is consideration of 2 stockholder proposals. First, Mrs. Davis, would you present your resolution? If you prefer, we can dispense with a reading and consider it presented as it appears in the proxy statement on page 20. The reasons for our opposition to Mrs. Davis's proposal are set forth in the proxy statement on pages 20 and 21, and I do not believe it is necessary to repeat them this morning. Is there any discussion concerning Mrs. Davis's proposal? We shall now vote on the proposal as it appears in the proxy statement. Anyone who wishes to vote by ballot on the proposal and who has not received a ballot, please raise your hand at this time. Next is the consideration of another stockholder proposal. Mr. Hay, would you present the resolution? In accordance with your discussion prior to this meeting with Mr. Comerford of our legal staff, we can dispense with a reading and consider it presented as it appears in the proxy statement on page 21. I do understand that you wish to make a few brief remarks in support of your resolution. Please go ahead. Again, our reasons for our opposition to this stockholder proposal are set forth in the proxy statement on pages 22 and 23. I do not believe it is necessary to repeat them. but I do urge all of you to read our response. At this point, in response to what Mr. Hay just said, let me state that our rights plan is the best available means of protecting against certain abusive practices which often unfairly pressure stockholders to sell at less than full value. The rights plan is not intended to and will not prevent a takeover of the company on terms beneficial to all stockholders. The rights plan has been designed to assure that our board, which consists of more than a majority of disinterested outside directors, will play a key role in connection with hostile takeover, including negotiating with an acquirer which seeks its own advantage and not necessarily that of all stockholders. Is there any discussion concerning this proposal? Would you be good enough to identify yourself by giving your name? We shall now vote on the proposal as it appears in the proxy statement. Anyone who wishes to vote by ballot on the proposal and who has not received a ballot, please raise your hand. Now that voting has been completed on all items of business, will the inspectors please have the ballots collected? While the inspectors are collecting the ballots, I would ask the Secretary of the meeting to give the preliminary report of the inspectors as to the results of the voting on the matters presented for consideration of the stockholders. As all of you know, because most of the votes are cast by proxy rather than at this meeting, we are able to give you a preliminary report on the voting, representing votes received up to the beginning of this meeting. Obviously, any votes received during this meeting, in person or by proxy, will be added to this preliminary tally before the final tally is recorded. Mr. Driver, will you give us that preliminary report?
Mr. Howell, their preliminary report indicates, first, as to the election of directors, that stockholders holding at least blank shares voted in favor of each of the 5 nominees whose names were set forth in the proxy statement, for a term expiring at the annual meeting of stockholders to be held in 1990. Next, their preliminary report indicates that stockholders holding at least blank shares or blank percentage voted in favor of approving the employment of Pete Marwick, Maine and Company to audit the company's accounts for the fiscal year ending January 30, 1988. Stockholders holding approximately blank shares voted against such approval, and stockholders holding approximately blank shares abstained. Next, their preliminary report indicates that stockholders holding at least blank shares or blank percent voted in favor of approving an amendment to the company's restated certificate of incorporation regarding elimination of certain liabilities of company directors. Stockholders holding approximately blank shares voted against such approval, and stockholders holding approximately blank shares abstained. Next, their preliminary report indicates that stockholders holding at least blank shares or blank percent voted in favor of ratification, approval, and authorization of indemnification agreements entered into by the company with its directors and senior officers, together with a related trust agreement. Stockholders holding approximately blank shares voted against such approval, and stockholders holding approximately blank shares abstained. Next, their preliminary report indicates that stockholders holding approximately blank shares or blank percent voted in favor of approving the stockholder resolution regarding cumulative voting. Stockholders holding at least blank shares voted against such approval, and stockholders holding approximately blank shares abstained. On a votes cast basis, that is, without counting abstains, the percent in favor was approximately blank percent. Finally, their preliminary report indicates that stockholders holding approximately blank shares or blank percent, voted in favor of approving the stockholder resolution regarding the rights dividend. Stockholders holding at least blank shares voted against such approval, and stockholders holding approximately blank shares abstained. On a votes cast basis, that is, without counting abstains, the percentage in favor was approximately blank percent. That concludes their report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Driver. On the basis of this preliminary report, I declare that the 5 nominees named in the proxy statement have been elected as directors of the company for a term expiring at the annual meeting of stockholders to be held in 1990. The appointment by the board of directors of Peat Marwick Lane & Company to audit the accounts of the company for the fiscal year ending January 30th, 1988 has been approved. The amendment to the company's restated certificate of incorporation regarding elimination of certain liabilities of company directors has been approved. The indemnification agreements entered into by the company with its directors and senior officers, together with a related trust agreement, have been ratified, and the company has been authorized at the discretion of the board to enter into similar indemnification agreements in the future. And finally, the 2 stockholder proposals have not been approved. I will ask the Secretary of the meeting to place on file the oath of inspectors and the preliminary report of the inspectors. I will ask the inspectors to file a final certificate with the Secretary to be placed with the records of the meeting when the definitive vote has been computed. Now, I know that you will have some questions, and during this part of the meeting, you are invited to ask them. In order that everyone has a chance to be heard, I will reserve the right to limit the number of questions a stockholder may ask, and also the length of time anyone may speak before I recognize another stockholder. If I get a question I think another officer might do a better job or might add to, I will refer it to one of them. So I would ask that after being recognized, you proceed to the microphone nearest you. Also, if your question or comment is of a personal nature rather than of general interest to everyone here this morning, I would ask that you please hold it until after the meeting and visit with one of our officers. Would you be good enough to identify yourself by giving your name and identifying yourself as a stockholder? Action has now been taken on all matters set forth in the notice of the meeting and the proxy statement requiring stockholder action. Is there any further business to be brought before the meeting? The officers of the company will be right outside this room following adjournment. They will welcome the opportunity to meet you personally and answer any questions which you may have. There being no further business to be brought before this meeting, I will entertain a motion that the meeting be adjourned. The motion to adjourn has been made. Is there a second? All in favor of the motion will kindly indicate by saying aye. Again, I want to express my personal appreciation and that of your management to those of you who have taken time to be with us this morning. The meeting is adjourned.
What happened?
Okay, anybody got any notes or comments or suggestions?
Bill, I wonder if I would be better, I'm not trying to duck any responsibility here, but would be better to not ask for questions after my presentation until after we've got a chance to tell everybody how the microphone system works and the like, and then they refer a catalog answer.
Probably right on the day.
Okay.
I guess that's probably